Oh, that was a good one. All right. So in English class, we have something that we use commonly to describe the subject or the person we talk about in the sentence. For example, I can say, there is a man who stole the money. Okay, this is how I describe the man. If I say the man stole the money, who? It can be a general idea, but if I am saying this is the man who stole the money, I am referring and describing a specific person or a specific object or a specific animal. For that reason, let's go to our presentation. We will call them relative pronouns, and we have the following relative pronouns here. Number one, we have for people, who. For things and animals, we have which. And whose is for people and for animal, but it indicates possession. Possession. We have a specific relative pronouns for people and for things and animals. We have an extra one that we call that. That can be used for people and for animals, for objects. That, who, which, whose. These are the main relative pronouns. However, I have another relative pronouns. For example, I have where. I also have why. On this context, where, why, and for example, when, they are not to ask questions. Like, when is your birthday, or where are you from? On this case, we will learn that we can use these words as relative pronouns to describe a subject in a sentence. Relative pronouns are to help us to describe something in a sentence, okay? Let's continue. So we have pronouns for people, okay? In this case, we have the following examples. That's the man who stole the money, that stole the money. We need to find people who we can trust, and possession. This is the story of a man whose ideas saved a lot of lives. Whose, de quién, cuyas ideas. Esta es la historia del hombre cuyas ideas salvaron muchas vidas. That's a simple translate. We have for people, we have for animals, almost the same, right? But now I want you to focus your attention in two topics: relative clauses and not defining clauses. We have two kinds: relative defining clauses and non-defining clauses. That's how we are going to classify the relative clauses: defining and non-defining. Focus your attention on this because it's very important for you to learn and use it for the weekly test, for your life, and for the final test. We will learn the usages of relative clauses, defining and not defining, okay? Let's learn each topic separated. Let's start with defining clauses. Please help me to read, Fabian, please help us to read the definition of defining relative clauses.
Defining relative clauses give essential information to define the subject we're talking about. For this reason, they're sometimes called essential relative clauses because the information they provide is essential to understanding the meaning of the sentence.
Okay, so to make it a little bit graphic for some of you who learn visually, let's say that we have the following chart. We have relative clauses, okay? We have relative clauses, and we can divide the relative clauses in two groups. Now we are learning group number one, defining clauses. Okay, that's group number one. Group number two, non-defining clauses. That's group number two. So we learned that defining clauses give us essential information of the subject. Because why we use relative clauses? We use relative clauses to describe the subject. To describe the subject here. We use relative clauses to describe the subject in the sentence. Are we clear on that? Are we understanding a little bit more why we use relative clauses? If not, wait, because we have examples. Let's learn now group number two, non-defining clauses. Let's go to our presentation, okay? Let's go to our presentation. Please help us to read, Mr. Quiroz. Help us to read the examples of defining clauses.
Okay. He needs someone whom he can trust. I have a friend whose mom is a doctor. She's going to the museum, which is full of interesting artifacts. Let's go to the theme park where there are lots of roller coasters. I like to sit in the garden when it's sunny. I have no idea why that happened. Cats are animals that have soft fur and short claws.
Very good. So focus on these examples to understand the defining clauses, the relative defining clauses. Let's go back to the definition. It says, defining relative clauses give essential information to define the subject we are talking about. For this reason, they are sometimes called essential relative clauses because the information they provide is essential. Let's see the example. What is the relative pronoun of the first sentence? He needs someone whom he can trust. What is the relative pronoun? Whom. Whom. He needs someone whom he can trust. I had a friend whose mom is a doctor. Where is the relative pronoun in the second sentence, class?
Whose?
Whose. Very good. So whose I have a friend whose mom is a doctor. Tengo un amigo cuya madre es un doctor o es doctora. In sentence number 3, she's going to the museum, which is full of interesting artifacts. Where is the relative pronoun in the sentence number 3, class?
Which?
Which. So which, in some context, could mean el cual. She's going to the museum. I can say that. But what museum? Museum in the capital, museum of art, museum of biology? Oh no, she's going to the museum which is full of interesting artifacts. Oh, you are describing the kind of museum she will go. Probably a general museum, right? Or a science museum. Let's go to the theme park where there are lots of roller coasters. Where is the relative pronoun on this sentence, Claudia? Where is the relative pronoun in sentence number 4?
Where?
Where, exactly. So as you can see, where normally we use it for questions, right? Where are you going? Where are you from? Where is the party? But here in relative clauses, I am using it to describe the place, the person, the object I'm talking about, right? Let's go to the theme park. Let's go to the theme park. Okay. Theme park of swimming pools or theme park of 19th, 17th century? Oh, no, it's where there are lots of roller coasters. Oh, okay. I know what you mean. So I am adding extra, I am adding information to describe the subject. No extra information, but relevant information. Number 5, I like to sit in the garden when it's sunny. Where is the relative pronoun on this sentence, Emerson? Where is the relative pronoun on sentence number 5?
If when?
When, exactly. If I say, I like to sit in the garden. Oh, cool. Excellent. But you are not specifying at night, at afternoon, at night, at morning. Oh, when it's sunny. It can be in the morning or in the middle of the day. I like to sit in the garden when it's sunny. So if I delete this part, class, if I delete this part, let's imagine that I'm going to delete this part, this part, this part. Do you think that the sentence will have the same meaning? No. Why? Because let's see sentence number one. If I say, he needs someone, it's incomplete, right? He needs someone. Probably it makes sense, but the sentence is not complete. He needs someone. Oh, he needs someone whom he can trust. Oh, now you are specifying and describing the subject. In number two, I have a friend. I have a friend. Oh, is it a friend from Guatemala? Is it a friend? You have a lot of friends, but the relative clauses, defining clauses help us to make a difference between one thing to the rest of the group of the same species. You know what it means? Nos ayuda a hacer la diferencia entre todos los amigos. I have a friend whose mom is a doctor. So I'm specifying that between all my friends, I am talking about the one whose mom is a doctor. Okay, are we understanding defining classes? The same name is telling us. Es para definir, it's to define something. If you understood, say yes. Nobody understood. Okay, okay. We will continue. Let's go to the next sentence. Can you help me to read the next sentence? I have no idea. Please, Cristian Quijano H. Can you help us to read?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you, thank you.
I have no idea why that happened.
I have no idea why that happened. Where is the relative pronoun here, class?
Why?
Why? Why that happened? If you say, I have no idea. Okay. So if you want to specify, I have no idea why that happened, why that accident, why that relationship happened. Last one, cats are animals that have soft fur and sharp claws. So on this case, cats are animals. If I delete the defining clause, that's a simple sentence, incomplete sentence. Cats are animals. Oh, so you are saying cats are animals that have soft for, and sharp claws. Los gatos son animales que tienen el pelaje suave y uñas filosas. Are you understanding? Yes? Are you happy? Yes? Perfect, perfect. Very concentrated, right? Very concentrated, speechless. Okay, so let's continue with the next slide. Next slide. A few more characteristics for defining clauses is they don't use commas. We can use that. That is an exclusive relative pronoun for defining clauses. And relative pronouns can be omitted. For example, do you like the song I wrote? Let's make it more visual. In defining clauses, I can say the following. Do you like the song I wrote? I can avoid or omit the relative pronoun. Do you like the song that I wrote? Both are completely correct. That is an exclusive relative pronoun for defining clauses, and you will see why. You will see why. Let's go then for the next slide. Next slide. We have the second group, non-defining relative clauses. Can you help us to read, please? Miguel, a type of relative clause.
A type of relative clause. A non-defining relative clause tells us more about the subject of a sentence, but the information doesn't help to define what we're talking about. The information in the clause is extra. It's not essential for understanding the sentence. For this reason, a non-definite relative clause might also be called a non-essential relative clause.
Excellent. So let's see some examples. Okay, now we will see that non-defining clause, we will use them in commas, with commas. We cannot use the relative pronoun that because it's exclusive for defining clauses. These are non-definers, non-defining. And the relative pronoun cannot be omitted. Let's see some examples to understand these concepts better. Can you help us to read the first example, please, Tanya? Tanya? No, Tanya? Elaman, can you help us to read the first example, please?
Yeah, my mom, who has been baking for years, made us cupcakes.
My mom made us cupcakes. If I delete this part, I still having a sentence that makes sense. My mom made us pancakes, but the non-defining clause give us extra information about the subject. So I say, my mom, who has been baking for years, made us cupcakes. Do I need to know this information? Not really. I don't really care if your mom had baked for years, but you are telling me, you are sharing that information to me. Oh, thank you, but it's not necessary. If I say, hey, my mom made us cupcakes. Oh, thank you, bring them here. It's okay. But if you want to say, oh, my mom, who has been baking for years. Now that information is extra. I didn't ask for it. Nadie le preguntó. That's a non-defining clause. Let's see other example. Number 2, help us to read the example, Joseph. I walk.
I go to school with my friends. Or house in next door to mine.
I walk to school with my friends. Okay, that's a simple sentence. That's a simple general sentence. But you are sharing extra information when you say whose house. What means whose house? Cuya casa está justo a la par de la mía. Next door. So you are sharing that to me, but I didn't ask that information. It's extra. Can you see that difference? If you tell me, I walk to school with my friend. Oh, good to know. Whose house is next door to mine? Oh, good to know that. It's giving me extra information about the subject. Next example, please help me to read. Camila, my friend. Camila. No, Camila.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you read example number 3?
Yes, my friend whom I've known for years come to my house today.
So class, if I say, my friend came to my house today, that sentence is complete. It's general, right? But I can't communicate with that sentence. My friend came to my house today. But if you want to give extra information, can you see the commas here? Non-defining relative clauses, they include commas. Non-defining relative clauses include commas. Okay, so I will say, my friend whom I've known for years came to my house today. To specify that it's not my friend from school, it's not my friend from the church, it's my friend who I've known for years. Yes, clear? Let's see. Next example. Help me to read, please. David, to you. The library.
The library, which is full of books, is a favorite place to go.
The library is my favorite place to go. My library is my favorite place to go. What happens if I take out this part? The sentence is still making sense, but I'm specifying, giving extra information. The library, which is full of books, is my favorite place to go. That's extra. We know that the library is full of books, but you are sharing that information. Nadie le preguntó, pero usted está hablando de eso. That's non-defining. And the last one, help me to read, Robert. The leisure.
Okay, the leisure center where I go swimming, it's just across town.
I can say the leisure center is just across town. But if I want to give an extra information, I add a non-defining clause where I go swimming. Let's go to the whiteboard then. We will say that defining clauses share important information. Share important information of the subject. Yes? And non-defining clauses share extra information about the subject. What are the relative pronouns then? I have who for people. I have which. For objects. And people. I have that. Again, is for objects and people. I have whose indicates possession. And then I have where, when, why. These are relative pronouns. Okay, so here we have the relative pronouns, who, which, that, whose, where, when, and why. Which and that is for objects and people. Who is specifically only for people, and whose indicates possession. And then we have where, when, and why. Non-defining classes, they need commas. They need commas. And non-defining classes, they don't need it. But in defining classes, we can use that. I will explain the purpose of that here. For example, in a defining class, I can say, this is the girl this is the girl that I love. Okay? This is defining. This is a defining class, right? But I cannot say the following. The girl in the church. The girl in the church that I used to love is now married. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. That. But instead of that, I will use who. Why? Because grammatically doesn't sound right. So we can use that in non-defining classes. And just to clarify, this is defining. Let's mark it with purple. And this is not defining. How can I identify them? Because of the commas. Defining classes are longer than defining classes. Which is for objects and animals. Questions so far?
Yeah, I got a
Process
question.
this information and ask your questions. Yes, Mr. Quiroz.
Yeah, in the non-defining questions, I could be use maybe which instead who, you know, como like a change.
Instead of, for objects, you can use which. For people, you better use who.
Who, okay.
Gabriela.
How I can use why?
How can I use why? Why? Let's see. Can you take a screenshot of this so I can delete it?
Yes, it's in the group.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to delete everything and we will work with examples, okay? Let's delete. This, and this. Okay, let's create some examples. Why? How can we use why in a sentence? For defining classes, your behavior is why I broke up with you. That's a defining clause. Your behavior is why I broke up with you. A non-defining clause. Let me think. The final result why let's change the result for reason. The final reason why this happened was because of you. This is an example of how to use why. Is that clear? Gavisita? Say yes.
Yes, but it's like la razón.
La razón
Okay, thanks.
porque esto pasó fue por ti. Kind of toxic conversation, right? Okay. So I have a question for Tania and then for Valeska. No bajen sus manos porque si no ya no puedo ver si me preguntan. So keep it up. Tanis Ruano, you have a question for me?
No, teacher.
For Fabian? No?
No.
No? Okay. Maybe later.
Ya sí tenía la pregunta, pero ya se me olvidó.
Oh, because of Fabian, you forgot the question. Oh, okay. All right. That's
Oh
power.
my gosh.
That's power. That's power. So, Valeska, question for me?
Yes, it's not clear for me. Why in this sentence is not por qué? Really? What does it mean?
Es porque, pero what happened here is that, as I explained before, we will use where, when, and why, but not in a question context. We will use it in a different context in relative clauses, but means specifically the same. Why is reason. Means por qué esto pasó, pero yo no estoy preguntando nada. Por ejemplo, la primera oración dice, tu comportamiento es porque yo rompí contigo. Entonces, al final estoy usando una palabra de pregunta, pero no estoy preguntando nada. Lo mismo si digo, this is the place where I will travel. Where is a word that I can use for questions, but I'm not using where to ask anything. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Minnie, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you. Okay, I had listening that work before, but let me see if I understand. When you begin the answer, you can use because, right? But when you talk, or when I'm not sure what is the difference between because and why, because I know that both is the same, but we use both in different situations. But
yes,
I need to know that.
Maybe it was because you were not here before, but we are talking about relative clauses. Esto es como un caso específico que se llama relative clauses. Because es para responder preguntas con why, pero no es el tema. If I ask you, Vinny, why are you going to be married? You answer me, because I love my girlfriend. But that's another topic. Now we are talking about defining clauses and not defining clauses. El tema es para utilizar palabras que normalmente usamos con preguntas, pero en contexto donde se describe o se da más información sobre el sujeto o el tema del que estoy hablando. Entonces acá es por decir, son dos temas separados. Acá why no está en la forma en que normalmente lo usamos. Esta es una forma diferente de usar why, por decirlo así. Aún así, el video está, va a estar en YouTube para que puedan dar una repasadita. Los que se les fue la luz o el internet. If you don't understand in the rest of the exercise. Si no logran captar al tema después de hacer unos ejercicios, siempre pueden ver la presentación en la plataforma. Es la misma que estoy usando. Is that clear? Yeah. Because is still being because. Because sigue siendo because para siempre. ¿Sí? Y why sigue siendo why para preguntar preguntas. Valga la redundancia. Pero acá estamos viendo un tema donde esto se transforma para yo describir al sujeto, describir un objeto o describir una situación en el caso de why. Make sense? More questions. Ask me questions. Questions about the class. Questions about life.
Spicy question.
Spicy questions. ¿Sí entendieron bien lo de because and why, verdad?
Teacher, we can use why between the sentence, right?
Yes. In relative clauses.
in relative clauses. Only that. Only that. Okay, so I can, if you question to me something, I can say like that happened is why I have that. Something like that.
Depending. If you are going to answer with a relative clause, yes. If I ask you, hey, Vinny, do you know what happened? Or do you know why this happened? You can say, I have no idea why that happened.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Depende de la
I got it.
pregunta y depende cómo quieras responder.
I
Porque
got it.
si yo pregunto, okay, Mr. Quiroz, can you tell me why are you here? Mr. Quiroz will answer me, I'm here because I want to get a better job. Eso es algo totalmente diferente de la pregunta. Incluso mi pregunta estaba con relative clause. Con una defining relative clause. Entonces, son dos temas separados. ¿Sí? Because y why pertenecen a otro universo. Why as a relative clause, as a relative pronoun, es otro universo Marvel. Como el Doctor Strange bueno y el Doctor Strange malo. Parece lo mismo, pero no es igual. No vayan a responder. Why are you here? Why I want to learn English. No, no es correcto. Ahí están mezclando. ¿Sí?
Teacher, what is the, I don't know, what is the meaning of was because of you? In the second sentence.
Fue por tu causa. Fue por ti.
Okay, in this case, because doesn't mean por qué.
Because of you es como un idiom para decir por tu culpa.
Okay.
O por ti, por decirlo así, como, pero más para blame someone. That's because of you. If I'm here, it's because of you. On that context, because represents a connection of reason. Allí estoy usando because para expresar la razón de algo, el propósito de algo. Pero why, como un relative pronoun, eso ya es otro tema, se transforma. Es como el would you like y el would con used to. Son los dos would, pero no pertenecen a lo mismo. O el used to. I used to play football. O I used to play in football on Saturday. Estoy acostumbrado o acostumbrado. Parece lo mismo, pero no lo es. ¿Se acuerdan de la canción? Because of you. Na, 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 na. Because of you. More questions. You can ask questions. Don't be afraid. Gabriela, questions about life? Questions about English?
About my life. No. This topic always I fetch. Siempre va a ir como a la mitad de la oración, como en medio de la oración.
Las non-defining clauses, sí. Vamos a ver más ejemplos de defining y no defining clauses. Let's see. So let's start with defining. Okay. I like the woman. What pronoun do I need to use on this case? Who lives next door? Let's see other example. Robert has a girlfriend that is from USA. That I can use it for people or for objects. And number 3, one more. The PlayStation 5, which costs $1,000, is in the store. Defining clauses. Again, defining clauses class. All the information is important. There is no extra information here. Okay? I cannot delete anything, but I can't omit, in some cases, the relative pronouns. In some cases. For example, I like the woman next door. Estoy quitando el pronombre. En las defining clauses lo puedo quitar. Robert has a girlfriend from USA. The PlayStation 5 cost $1,000 is in the store. And is in the store. In some cases, I can delete the pronouns, but not very necessary. That's defining classes. Non-defining classes. Let's see some examples here. My teacher, comma, who is very nice, lives in Guatemala. Example number 1. Example number 2. Beanie, who, remember that here I cannot say that is a rapper. No puedo usar that en non-defining. Por eso uso who. Who is a rapper, will sing a song. I really love to learn English. Come. Um, hmm. That's why I study so hard. In the first sentence, Joseph, where is the part? Where is the part I can delete? In the first sentence of my teacher, who is very nice, lives in Guatemala. ¿Qué puedo borrar de esta frase? Where is the part I can delete?
How is very nice.
Who is very nice. I can say my teacher lives in Guatemala. But I know that you would like to add this phrase, my teacher, who is very nice, lives in Guatemala, right? Ooh, yeah. Number 2, Beanie, who is a rapper, will sing a song. What is the phrase I can delete from that sentence, Fabian?
Who is a rapper?
Who is a rapper, right? Beanie will sing a song. But this is extra information. Who is a rapper? What about number 3? Let's see, Emerson. Emerson, what is the part I can delete on this sentence? I really love to learn English. That's why I study so hard.
That's why.
I can say I really love to learn English, but I'm adding extra information. That's why I study so hard. Questions? No questions? Okay, relax. Stretch yourselves. Breathe. Breathe out. Relax yourselves. I know these topics are kind of not difficult, but kind of pay attention a lot.